What this all comes down to is we have to look at dates in August. A sensitive date coming up is August 11th. Now again, why the 11? 11 is many things, but in Vedic religion, 11 is cognate with elephant. And the elephant is present in the symbol of the nakshatra Purva Ashada, of Purva Ashada and Uttara Ashada. Purva Ashada is the symbol of the running elephant, the mobile elephant, the charging elephant, the elephant that moves. Right here, symbolized by an elephant using its tusk, represents the most valuable part of the elephant and is associated with uncovering hidden talents. That's Purva Ashada. And Uttara Ashada is the standing elephant, the one in charge. And the constellation of Purva Ashada and Uttara Ashada are both the teapot. Right here, Purva Ashada. This part here, the teapot. The front part of the teapot. Right here, the front part of the teapot. Uttara Ashada is the second part of the teapot, symbolized by an elephant, standing elephant, still with his tusks. Here's the teapot right here. And in the Vedic, as you can see here, there's two, the former invincible one and the latter invincible one. This is the former elephant and the latter elephant. So this is the invincible one. The elephant is the largest land animal, and it is imposing, formidable, large like Jupiter. And it is right beside the galactic center, right here. In Scorpio, this nakshatra here is the root. This is the beginning of the third portion of the third set of 9 planets, from the beginning of Sagittarius to the end of Pisces. This is the spiritual journey, your spiritual self. This is the beginning, where you find the root in Scorpio, from Scorpio. This here is the star Antares, with the last nakshatra of Scorpio. Sagittarius begins here. This is the end of Scorpio, Jyeshta, and Antares is right about in the middle. So from here, this is the galactic center. And this is called Mula. Mula is the root. Mula here is the root. And then this is Purva Ashada, and then Uttara Ashada. Purva Ashada, Uttara Ashada. The first part of the teapot, the second part of the teapot. And these two here make up one set of 11s. Purva Ashada, Uttara Ashada. Purva and Uttara means before and after. Purva means before, Uttara means after. In the list of nakshatras, over here is the end of Scorpio, beginning of Sagittarius. Purva Ashada, Uttara Ashada. So this one here is before and after the Ashada. Another set is over here, Purva Bhadrapada and Uttara Bhadrapada. These two are in Pisces. This is before Bhadrapada and after Bhadrapada. And another set is over here. This is in Leo. Purva Falguni, Uttara Falguni. Before Falguni and after Falguni. These two are a set. So 1, 2, 3. There is a pattern to them, but I'm not going to get into it right now. Just know that these two before and afters are basically 11s. And there are 6 of them. 3 are obvious and 3 are hidden. But there are 6 of them. So I mean before and after. So the 11 is before and after. It's their way of saying two witnesses. 11 in Gematria is 9. Every letter, E is 5, L is 3, E is 5, V is 4, E is 5, and N is 5. This makes 8 plus 9 plus 1. This is in standard Gematria means a 9. Purva Ashada and Uttara Ashada both happen in the sign of Sagittarius. Is Jupiter ruled in the sign? And the reason why the elephant is used is because this is the root of the galaxy and the root of the soul. And you begin here in order to journey for the soul. That's in the spiritual realm. But in the physical realm, Mula represents the animal that is progressed from the base material, Mula. And they use it as one step up. And it's the form of Ganesha. Ganesha is the symbol, the root chakra. And the reason why the elephant is there. Here is analysis of Mula Nakshatra by Dr. Arjun Pai.
So let's get to two very important concepts, very, very important, because this is the fundamental of Jyotish, and this will lead you into knowing Mula Nakshatra better. So the first concept I want to tell you about is Mooladhara Chakra, which is called as the root chakra. Now, this is the most important concept of Jyotish because this is the root of your latent spiritual and karmic energy. In Vedic systems, we call it your prarabdha, which is your destiny. So I call it, this is the point, or this is the chakra where the unlocking of your destiny can happen. Either the blessings or the curses are all seated here. Right? So it can bring both those flavors. It is your prarabdha, that is your seed. Okay. Now this is Mooladhara chakra, sits somewhere, around your hip region. Okay. I will show you how this is linked. But this image that you're seeing here is the bone where the Mooladhara chakra resides in your body.
Which is the tailbone.
This is the bone, which sits somewhere near your hip in the middle region. Okay. Right? So does this image give you any interpretation? Does it look like something? So if you look at this very closely, you would see that there is some resemblance to Lord Ganesh. Yes. This is where a lot of awakening of your Kundalini, because the serpent is lying, is sleeping and it has to be awakened. That is your Kundalini energy, where it lies at the spine, bottom of the spine. And that is what is called Mooladhara. Moola means root. Root. Okay. This is where your root. This is the root of all your destiny. This is the root of your latent energies that you have accumulated over a period of time. Why? Because every action you do or every action that you have done, as per Indian philosophy, they are a seed you are planting in the Mooladhara chakra, which is your root chakra.
So thank you, Dr. Pai, for explaining that. So this is why this is associated with the elephant. And the elephant, again, is cognate, came to us as 11. As 11. Now, another aspect, the 11 is also going after targeting the 11th house, which is fixed air, which is Aquarius. And the 11th house is also equated with friends, groups, alliances, hopes, even though it should be Saturn here. And on the spring equinox, earlier this year, 2025, you have the moon in Scorpio in the 11th house, which is 9 houses away from Pisces. And Pisces had the great conjunction of Sun, Mercury, Venus, Neptune, Rahu, with Saturn just coming into it. You have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 planets, with Saturn being the disciplinarian, not in it yet. Coming in, seeing it, but too late to stop anything. So Pisces was 5 houses away from the moon, which means the moon was 9 houses away from Pisces, which means this is the 9th house of the Great Conjunction. This is the religion house. This is the purpose house. This is the reason. This is what gives reason to and perspective to this, what's going on here. And this is transformational. The moon is primed for transformation. The 7th house had Cancer, but there's no planets in here yet, but it's ruled by the moon. And the moon is over here. So the moon makes a complete circuit. Its house is over here, and then 5 houses away from its house is when it's in the sign of independence. It's the sign of the radical house. This is the house that's so hard that it's stubborn, that you bounce responsibility off of, that it's so frozen that you don't like discipline here in Scorpio. You do not like discipline because you are hard, fixed water, fixed, not against, but for lack of a better term, against people. You are independent here. You do not like discipline or control outside of yourself. This is why you create enemies and debts. You don't control debts here. You don't manage debts here. You're not responsible for debts here, but you create debts here. In this, you feel like in the sign of Scorpio, in the 8th house, it indicates areas of your life where you dislike discipline. It allows decay over a period of time because you create debts. Any planet in Scorpio, or whatever house Scorpio is in, you dislike discipline in that area. And you live in fear because you see you might lose. Your eyes are closed to its house energies. In Taurus, it's about what you say and what you do. That determines your fortune. In Scorpio, it's about what you say and do that determines your misfortune. You're relying on your own self here. You're relying on sixth sense. It relates to when your sexual fluids are created inside of you. This surrounds the sexual area where, again, this is where you point your business at, male or female. But this is the final point. This is the edge of the cliff, Scorpio. This is where you either gain your perspective or you waste your perspective. And you do that with time. Otherwise, time is always going to be closed off to you because you never ventured inside of yourself. In my previous video, I said people are born with 7 chakras. In Vedic religion, it's said that Saturn doesn't affect the child until they're 16 years old, which means they live attached to parents up to Jupiter's nakshatra. Once at 16, that's when Saturn starts coming into play and their sense of time comes into play. Before Saturn is activated, they're just absorbing, growing their mind. The things they know and the issues they know. Things they know and issues they know. They don't know about discipline and they don't know about, in general, people born with Capricorn and Aquarian energies are different, or even planets within them. But the energy itself, the basic personality I'm talking about, the child, once at 16, they start to be independent and they start to have a sense of their own future and no longer under the umbrella of their family. They seek to venture out.